Welcome, Lentilman. Your ears are not deceiving you. That is my voice coming through, and you are hearing me for the first time in a long time. Because now there's a new video coming out, even if it's, about a month late for this kind of video. So let's just get right into this then. These are my, emphasis, my, as in an opinion held by me, top 5 games of the last year. So I'm going to preface, wow, really, Joe? This is awful already. Preface, there, make it better for you. Literally everything I'm about to say by stating that this is a list, in my opinion, the top 5 I've enjoyed most. Like, enjoyed, as in, I liked playing them. So, yeah, there we go. So, meaning, while I was choosing the game, I took into account how long I played each game for and how much time I spent, playing it, as opposed to other games. So, this isn't a list of, oh, this game is the best game ever, or this game is awful because I didn't put on the list. It's just what I played the most and what I enjoyed playing the most. Okay? Good. So, let's just move into this. At number 5, we have Until Dawn. So, this is what the butterfly effect would have been, had it been a good movie. Oh, but Butterfly Effect is a great movie. Stop it. Don't fool yourself. Subpar. But this is what it should have been like. But no, this is the kind of game David Cage wishes he could make, since it plays almost identical to games such as Heavy Rain and Indigo Prophecy, with you basically watching the game play out with the occasional button press. But whereas other games have you make minor decisions early just so you get used to the idea of this game actually, sets them up to be consequential down the line. And that's before getting into the reason why I picked this game in the first place, and that's the theme of the game, which is a cheesy, quote-unquote, slasher movie, but it's not really a slasher movie. It's not really a body count in this one, unless you make it that way. But regardless, you can interact with it. So, as a fan of crappy horror movies, I was going to play this before I even saw any reviews online. So, there's that. At best, I was expecting a game with a crappy plot and a most likely ham-fisted controls, and I'd play for like half an hour and probably get bored. But, to my surprise, the controls were acceptable. And the story, still kind of crappy, but in a it's meant to be crappy kind of way, which is, exactly what I wanted. And there's an actual twist in there. But that's alright. It could have gone a little better. Yeah. But the twist, there's actually 2 twists. One you would have seen coming, and the other one that you probably wouldn't have because you don't know the whole story of the game. So, I'll say if you are into those kinds of movies, check this one out. At number 4, people are going to kill me for this one. Batman Arkham Knight. And here is where I've got to say, this is probably the one game out of all of these that I had to think long and hard about putting on here. Because when taken as a package, the god-awful launch, the more of the same, but now with crappy mandatory Batmobile sections, the promise of a thrilling conclusion to Rocksteady's wonderfully told Arkham series, only for it to be bland and have a twist any Bat fan called out of the gates, and DLC that was nowhere near the price customers paid for it, with most of it consisting of 50-minute snippets of gameplay that was almost identical, stealth some bad guys and then fight some bad guys, just with character swapping. Ugh. And for all intents and purposes, middle of the road, potentially lower end of the scale game. But all that said, I fucking loved it. The combat system is as tight and fluid as ever, for all the crap it gets because too many games now feature that style of one-button attacks, one counters. Rocksteady does it the best by adding layers of depth that actually managed to get out of it. Quite impressive. It's by no means the quote-unquote greatest combat system ever, but is one that is refined and honed to a razor-sharp edge. And while the story is severely lacking in any source of gravitas and weight as the final piece of a trilogy of games, on its own, it does what it has to do. There are thugs running around Gotham, again, so the B-Man has to go kick some ass. Fair enough, I'll let it slide. It is Batman after all. So yeah, this game in my opinion does exactly what you would look for as someone having not played the previous games and going, oh sweet, a Batman game, I hope it makes me feel like I'm actually Batman. Yes it does, although I would still prefer them to have gone a little farther with the detective aspect that was established in the spin-off Arkham Origins. But I'm a fickle man, so that's what you get. Oh, the Batmobile? Oh yeah, you mean the most hated thing ever when people first started playing and reviewing this game? Me personally, I had zero, and I mean zero problems with how it handles and operates, unlike others who complained about the slipperiness and clumsiness of the controls. Did I hate how much it was shoved in my face? Of course, but any chance I had to be out of it, I took full advantage, gliding around to my heart's content. But don't you dare get me started on that fucking Tumblr DLC. Moving on. At number 3, we have Tales from the Borderlands. First off, I know the first episode didn't exactly come out this year, but the last one did, and that's all that matters to me. It's my list, gosh darn it. And so this one I did not expect to enjoy nearly as much as I did, especially when you take into account the other Telltale game that was going on at the time, Game of Thrones. While you would think, given the source material, Game of Thrones would have been head and shoulders above this game in narrative and character, but you'd be completely wrong, as over the course of the episodes of this series, you find these mostly douchey characters starting to grow on you, and by the end you actually care what does and does not happen. This game blends the ha 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 memes Borderlands humor with some of the best writing and world building Telltale has ever done. I would put this right on par with what they did for Wolf Among Us, and since I considered Wolf Among Us my favorite Telltale game, that means Tales from the Borderlands is now my favorite Telltale game. Pick it up, give it a shot. And now with that we go to number 2. A game that I'm still playing, mind you, because I keep going back to it, and that is Bloodborne. As you know, I've been streaming the crap out of that game because it's fun. So, hard as hard can be is what I expected when I picked this game up, knowing it to be a spiritual successor to the Souls games. But in my opinion, this is probably the easiest of all games From Software has put out, which probably explains why my casual ass enjoyed it so damn much. Don't get me wrong, this can still be a difficult game, especially if you don't take your time to learn how things move and operate, because you better be doing that in a Souls game. But my favorite part of this game is the aesthetic. Everything from the level and character design to the music just oozes that beautifully creepy gothic style, mixed with the equally creepy Lovecraftian themes that get introduced in the later parts of the games. So, I really don't know what else to say about this, but from the buttery smooth controls to the imagery and the music, this game has everything a classic game must have. Just so long as you're willing to put up with some trial error. Must own for any PS4 user. Pick it up now if you don't already own it. And here we have the final game. Number 1, Fallout 4. Oh my god, spoiler! Shock! Surprise! All the memes! Shocked expressions! So, if you know me, it should come as no surprise that I chose Fallout 4 as my favorite game of the year. Does that mean it's the best game? Nope, not in any facet. There are plenty of flaws with this game. It's a Bethesda game after all. But that is why I said favorite, as the best game of the year was probably my number 2 choice. But let's see what I can say about this game, which is probably almost nothing that hasn't been said in reviews throughout the internet. This is everything I want in a Fallout game. Guns? Got 'em. Perks? Got 'em. Stupid senseless side quests? Got 'em. Modding? Yep, that's here. Building? Yep, somehow that's in here. But you get the point, I digress. But gameplays-wise, it's what you expect from a Fallout game at this point. You shoot things, get irradiated, take a bunch of chems, do some fetch quests, all those fun things. But now you have settlement building, which is alright. I guess it's not really as good as it should be if they were going to throw it in. It's definitely more of a tacked-on thing. VATS now no longer pauses the game. So now you have to actually plan your shots a bit more during combat, which is great because people are all like, oh, I'm just going to go into VATS to pause the game, even though the pause screen works just fine. Sure, there's a lot more I could say about this game, but I'm going to shorten it. So while the story comes with a quote-unquote twist, It's rather boring and forgettable, even by Fallout standards. But Tokyo, you say, why are you saying all these awful things if it's your favorite game? Probably because I'm a fanboy and the game can do zero wrong in my eyes. So I'm enlightening people who maybe haven't played any Fallout what they can expect. So, buy it, play it, beat it, do it again until Fallout 5 comes out. Because maybe that'll be way better. Who knows? And with that, I bid you all you wonderful Lentlemen, a fond farewell until next week. Please don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Much love.